Toronto Raptors lose to the Philadelphia 76ers 115-102. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Raptors Rundown. I'm your host, Yousuf, boss. And in Kyle Lowry's final game, the Toronto Raptors did him a service and actually gave him that moment by getting absolutely blown out in the second night of a back-to-back by the Philadelphia 76ers. The first game was a lot closer, obviously. It went down to the wire, and clearly Philly were absolutely pissed off going into this game. The fact that they blew that lead because they came out firing. And in fact, at halftime, they were shooting 80% from the field. By the end, all their numbers ended up being a lot more normal. And when you look at the final score, when you look at their shooting numbers, you would wonder why Raptor fans are complaining about a Magna Ball game. But it's only because they put the bombs in to end the game, and their shooting averages became a lot lower because they actually missed in the second half. But yeah, by no means was this a 13-point game whatsoever. This was over by the midway point of the second quarter, with the Toronto Raptors being down by as much as 33 points. And it was almost a game where we let in the most amount of points in a single half all season long. I think the season high so far is 84. We gave up about like 80 in the first half this game, so we didn't break that record, but we got awfully close. The only bright spot tonight was Kyle Lowry. He ended up getting a very solid stat line for once. Had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He's been putting together an incredibly good string of games that is making a genuine push for all rookie first team. It's going to be tough because, to me, I think that both Duke guys, Concanipple and Cooper Flagg, are a lock. Then the rest of them are probably it's between VJ Edgecombe, Colin Murray-Boyles, Cedric Howard's probably a lock. Derek Queen, in my eyes, is a lock. Jeremiah Fears is up there. Trey Johnson's been a sniper as of late. So this is a generational rookie class, and it's going to be tough to be all rookie first team, but he is making a very good case with these stretch of games. On a Philly side, I mean, pick your poison. Literally every single person had an incredible game. Joel Embiid had 27 points. Tyrese Maxey clearly took Elijah Martin's trash talk from the last game personal and dropped 33 points. And like I said, he is still averaging the most points out of any player in the entire league over the past 5 seasons against the Toronto Raptors. We have yet to find a way to limit or stop him, whether the Philadelphia 76ers have been healthy, unhealthy. There's been one constant: Tyrese Maxey scoring more than 30 points against the Toronto Raptors. It's almost as reliable as a Peyton Pritchard going off against us as well. So there's that. VJ Edgecombe was great tonight. Good bounce back from him shooting the ball because he really struggled the night before. Some could say he essentially lost them the game, but he rebounded by only missing 1 3 tonight. And even off the bench, I think it's actually when their bench lineup went in that, or I guess you could say when our bench lineup went in, that they actually blew up the lead, because we started off shooting the ball pretty well as well. Brandon Ingram started off pretty good. He ended up not shooting very well because he was forcing it a little bit to end the game. But yeah, really tough game for the Raptors. Again, there's really not much to talk about for this game. We got absolutely blown up. So I would like to take this time to talk a little bit about Kyle Lowry. And this was his last game for in Scotiabank Arena. I'm not going to say for the Toronto Raptors because he's confirmed that he's going to sign the one-day contract. I don't know what that entails, whether or not it's going to be like on a game day and if he's going to be able to check in for us one last time, or if it's just going to be like a Jose Bautista thing where they have a whole celebration, maybe they pick that day to retire his jersey. I don't know what they're going to do, but this was the last time, in my opinion, that he's going to be in the building as a player. To me, there was a lot of ups and downs throughout the 2010s, but the only constant for me was Kyle Lowry's hustle and his ability to run the offense. That has been the only constant. And with a team that is really struggling to have a player that runs the offense, I sincerely miss prime Kyle Lowry. You look at his stats and they weren't anything that really jumped out on you, especially his 6th All-Star appearance where he averaged like 14 points on not the best efficiency, but it was everything off the stat sheet that brought his value to the team. His defense, his truly, in my opinion, one of the most underrated guard defenders of all time. Playmaking, shooting the ball. He's like top 15 in three-pointers, which is insane. He's a 20-year vet for anybody, especially a 6-foot guard to last 20 years in the NBA. It is insane. The longevity is insanely underrated. And then me personally, the game that, keeps running it back to me, that cemented him as the greatest Raptor of all time, has to be that Game 6 against Boston, where everybody was struggling. we were looking for a source of offense, and we just decided to go to old reliable Kyle Lowry, and he hit back-to-back threes. That tough fadeaway jumper against Kemba Walker. I know that it wouldn't necessarily be the best aesthetic for a statue, but if I had to pick one, I know everyone's talking about it being a charge, but that fadeaway would probably be my statue for Kyle Lowry. There's other candidates as well. I mean, the game winner against Cleveland's up there. That incredible Game 6 against the Golden State Warriors, essentially cementing the Toronto Raptors to win the championship. And it even went until the last game of his Raptors career. People are going to forget it, but it was a game in the COVID year, right after the bubble year, 2021, where we played the Los Angeles Lakers. I remember DeAndre Bembry went off in that game as well for some reason, but Kyle Lowry against the Los Angeles Lakers, people were talking about him being washed, people were talking about him being on the way out, people were talking about him having no value whatsoever, and he went off and scored like 35 points against the Los Angeles Lakers, winning that game for us, extending our winning streak against the Lakers as well. So it was a very bittersweet moment for me. This is one of my favorite players of all time. I think seeing him get that moment was so amazing. I'm actually in a way glad that it was a blowout loss instead of a close loss, because there was no way Nick Nurse was sacrificing a game just to give Kyle Lowry that moment. I'm glad he got the moment. I'm glad he got a couple of shots. It hurt my heart to see him airball one of them. It hurt my heart to see him go 0 for 3. It was funny seeing him go against Garrett Temple as well, because that's two players that'll probably be done by the end of the season. But with Garrett Temple, who knows, because that man's apparently been in the league forever. So glad he got the moment. Glad he got the standing ovation. We will see him once again in Toronto for his jersey retirement, and maybe even for a statue that they build outside Scotiabank Arena. Next up feels like one of the biggest trap games for the Toronto Raptors, because we are playing a actually red-hot Indiana Pacers team who's starting to figure it out. No Ben Mathurin, no Obi Toppin, and obviously Tyrese Halliburton. All their long-term injuries aren't there. But Andrew Nembhard and Pascal Siakam, they really stepped up against the Boston Celtics. So we really need to watch out for them. We cannot let them get going. Jay Huff was a big factor as well. And Sandro Mamukelashvili is questionable with an illness for that game. So we potentially might play this game with nobody over 6'9". The tallest guys on the team against the Pacers will probably be Scotty Barnes, who's literally 6'8.5". So it's going to be tough with the lack of size. Gotta limit Jay Huff. He's not necessarily the best rebounder, but he does block a lot of shots. Hopefully we can shoot the ball well. And yeah, we will see how it goes against the Indiana Pacers. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I know a little bit of a shorter episode, but there's not really much to talk about in a frigging 30-point blowout at one point of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Halfway point through the season, we're 41 for 41. Hopefully we can keep it going. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video, in the next episode of the Raptors Rundown.